Additionally, you can still, like you said, you have patients or people that are eating foods that are generally highly processed and not very good for them. And so, for example, eating a loaf of white gluten-free bread, basically made from xanthan gum and white rice flour and other grain, pseudo-grain materials, is not healthy. And the whole point of going on a gluten-free diet for somebody with gluten intolerance is to recapture, regain health. There's another little saying: you cannot maintain health and you cannot achieve health by eating foods that are not healthy. And so when you eat foods that are very high in carbohydrates and very low in nutrient density, you end up taxing your body's own nutritional stores, and so over time you wear away your nutritional status.
Which seems, it never fails to amaze me, because it seems common sense, but it's just, I don't know if it's because of today's fast-paced whatever and everyone needs that convenience or what it is, but it seems like it's such a battle. And do you find this in your, with the patients or the people you talk to outside of your practice, or that it's just such a battle to get people to eat the way you want them or think they should eat? The less processed food.
It can be a battle. It can be a battle in some, but I find that education is the key. Education is the key, because most people eat the way they eat because they don't understand or fully realize the implications and the damage that they're doing and creating.
Right.
And if they can learn what those implications are, then they're going to be empowered to make the right decision, maybe if not every time, at least more often than not. So I would say that compliance in my office is actually quite high, mainly because I spend so much time trying to educate people about why and not just telling them what to do.
Right. I agree with that 100%. But that's a long, hard battle. That's a long, hard job to educate. It takes a while.
Absolutely. It's a grassroots effort, and because of shows like yours, it's a great forum. The internet is a great forum to be able to disseminate and spread information.
What if we step back? I know we're getting pressed for time, but if we step back for a second from celiac disease and gluten sensitivity, we just kind of put those things to the side for a second, forget about those. Talking about grains, how important are they to the average person's diet? Let's just assume that I don't have any gluten issues at all. How important are grains to my diet? Are they absolutely necessary? It's the base of the pyramid. So how important are they?
They're not important at all. The base of the pyramid and the rest of the pyramid was basically bought. The pyramid was created by, the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, whose main job is to sell agricultural products produced in the U.S. So there's no real scientific validity behind the creation of the food guide pyramid. So putting grain at the base was never validated, and there's never really been any great research that shows how essential grains actually are to the human diet. If you look at archaeological perspective, and if you look at human evolution, humans have evolved primarily not eating grains. Grains are basically only 10,000 years new to the human genome. Around the Fertile Crescent, about 10,000 years ago, grain was actually originally produced in larger quantities and became sort of a staple food for civilizations and cultures to settle down and be able to live in one location. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It allowed people to become more civilized and allowed for the advancements of technology, but it also, and anywhere you study in history and archaeology, anywhere that grain is introduced into a civilization as a staple food, so do the chronic degenerative diseases follow. So there's a good argument to be made that grain, not only is it not an essential nutrient in the diet, but there's a good argument that could be made scientifically that says that grain is something that humans really shouldn't eat because we really haven't evolved to eating a whole lot of it.
Interesting. And I see that we're right at the 2:45 or 4:45, I guess, for you. Do you have just another minute or two?
Sure.
Oh, perfect. I just got one other quick question I want to chat about real quick, and this is about foods or supplements that people with celiac, especially celiac, should make sure that they eat or should they take for healing, helping to heal, and probiotics, for example, or glutamine, or anything like that? Is there anything specific that people should be looking for?
Well, there are a lot of products and there are a lot of supplements that that actually can help the gut heal. Vitamin A, glutamine, vitamin B12, zinc, iron. These are some of your more common things that celiac patients are going to be deficient in. But I'll take it one step further. I'm not a fan of taking out, I'm going to give you another analogy, taking out the shotgun and hoping I hit the target. I'm a fan of specification, in essence, finding out what the individual's needs are so that you can address them in a targeted fashion. So this is where, to me, where medical testing is a bit greater benefit. I encourage people that have the diagnosis to visit with their doctor, have some nutritional testing run, and to help them to determine what they need to take. As far as probiotics are concerned, you could take them or leave them if you eat fermented foods, sauerkraut and kimchi, and there are a number of other, yogurts are fermented. Then you should be able to get good, healthy, quality bacteria from the food that you eat. Now, some people respond really, really well to digestive enzymes and probiotics because of the damage done to their intestine. And so it really just boils down to the individual, again, individualizing the treatment protocol or the supplemental protocol based on the person.
And so the key there is it depends on each individual.
Absolutely.
You read a lot of things on the forums and a lot of the things online where it's like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to take this, you got to make sure you do that, and that may work great for that person, but it may do nothing to help me.
Exactly, and I think that's where the confusion sets in for a lot of people. Is they read some things on forums, and God bless the forums, they're great. They're great places to go and get good information and share experiences. And one experience from one other person may dramatically benefit somebody else who's trying to find an answer. So I just think that when we generalize about health and then it doesn't help us or we don't find the right answer, it's maybe that it's not the right answer. It's maybe we're just going about it a little bit incorrectly, and we need to personalize it a little bit more to ourselves.
Right.